To complete our comparing function, if the user beats the target score, we want to add their score to our all scores list. If they don't win, then we're going to add 0 to our all scores list. For our stats, we also want to keep track of the target score. So once we retrieve that median, we can add it to our all medians list. Then, at the end of the round, after we've configured the round's label, we want to make our next button available, and we want to make our stats button available as well. We also need to check to see whether we've reached the end of the game. So to do that, we can retrieve the number of rounds that have been played and the number of rounds that the user wanted. Then if we have reached the end of the game, we're going to disable our next button and change the text to game over. And we're going to take our end game button, make it a deep green, and change the text to play again. One final thing that we want to do is we want to disable our color buttons so that the user can't push the color buttons multiple times when they've already made a choice. And if we test our code, you'll notice that the next button becomes available, but of course, right now, it's not doing anything. Please go up into your initial class where you made your control button list, and we're going to edit our next button so that instead of going nowhere, it goes to self new round. We can test our code, and we can choose a mix of things that are likely to win, and you'll notice that next round now works, and we can choose to lose rounds as well. So we've got up to round 4 of 4, and when we get to the last round, you'll notice that it says game over, and all we can do is play again. So here's your next challenge. Can you take our working game component and our working start GUI and combine them into a base component? Please pause this video and give it a go. So in case you're not sure, here's my approach. I'm going to go into my game component, which has most of the code that I need. I'm going to save it as base version 1. I can do a quick check to ensure that all of the libraries I need have been imported at the top. And then I'm going to go into my start component, copy my entire start game class, collapse my helper function so it's easy for me to see what's going on. I'm going to collapse that simplified start game class. I'll remove it and pop in our fully functioning start game class. I can then run my base component, try something invalid, try play a very short 2-round game, and it's looking promising because my heading is correct. I can choose some colors, and when I say play again, it mostly works, although this shouldn't say choose a number more than 0, and this should be cleared out. I can fix that issue by going into my check rounds function of my start class. And before we invoke our play class, I can clear out my rounds entry, and I can reconfigure my choose label. Of course, anytime you edit your code, you want to make sure that you're also maintaining your comments. We can play the world's shortest game, where we then go play again. And as you can see, it's now working correctly. In the next video, we're going to tackle our hints and stats classes.